Signal number 4 is raised over 5 areas as Typhoon Nika traverses Northern Luzon. Based on Pag-asa's 5 p.m. bulletin on Monday, November 11, signal number 4 is up over Kalinga, Mountain Province, the northern portion of Ifugao, the central and southern portion of Abra, and the northern and central portions of Ilocos Sur, where significant severe impacts from typhoon force winds are possible. The 10 areas under signal number 3 should be wary of moderate to significant impacts from storm force winds, according to Pag-asa. Signal number 2 is hoisted over 11 areas where gale force winds may bring minor to moderate threats to life and property. Meanwhile, signal number 1 is raised over 10 other areas where minimal to minor impacts can be expected from strong winds. As of 4 p.m. Monday, Pag-asa spotted Nika in the vicinity of Mountain Province, moving west and northwestward at 25 km per hour. The typhoon carries maximum sustained winds of 120 km per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 200 km per hour. Pag-asa expects Nika to emerge over the sea west of Ilocos Sur on Monday evening and exit the Philippine area of responsibility by Tuesday morning, November 12. Meanwhile, Pag-asa is currently monitoring a tropical depression which is expected to enter power by Tuesday and will be assigned the name Ophel. The government has sufficient calamity funds available for its use in response to upcoming typhoons until the end of the year, according to the palace. Presidential Communications Office Secretary Cesar Chavez in an interview on Monday, November 11, notes that historically, national and local calamity funds are depleted as early as September or October each year. However, Chavez guarantees that the government has adequate sources of funding. He cites the Department of Budget and Management, which gave assurance of sufficient funds for upcoming disasters until the end of December. The fourth tropical cyclone in less than a month, Typhoon Nika, hits the Philippines, forcing thousands of villages in Northern Luzon to evacuate on Monday. Pag-asa is also currently monitoring a tropical depression outside the Philippine area of responsibility, which is seen to develop into a typhoon and make landfall in the coming days. The State Weather Bureau is also monitoring Tropical Storm Manny, which formed over the West Pacific Ocean. On Thursday, November 7, Typhoon Marce made landfall over Cagayan, damaging houses and buildings. Prior to Marce, severe Tropical Storm Christine and Super Typhoon Leon battered the country, leaving 160 dead, according to the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council. Detained Pastor Apollo Kiboy was rushed to hospital due to an irregular heartbeat, according to the Philippine National Police. In a press conference on Monday, November 11, PNP spokesperson Brigadier General Jean Fajardo says Quiboloy was brought to the Philippine Heart Center on Friday, November 8. According to Fajardo, Quiboloy experienced chest discomfort on November 7, prompting the PNP General Hospital to conduct a medical examination. Fajardo says the medical examination revealed Quiboloy has an irregular heartbeat, which she described as life-threatening. Quiboloy was expected to leave the hospital on Monday. However, Fajardo says the Pasig Regional Trial Court extended Quiboloy's medical furlough until 5 p.m. on Saturday, November 16. Quiboloy and 4 co-accused were arrested on September 8 at the Kingdom of Jesus Christ compound in Davao City. He has been detained at the PNP Custodial Center in Quezon City. Quiboloy is facing charges of human trafficking and child and sexual abuse that several former KJC members filed against him. Vice President Sara Duterte describes the House of Representatives' probe into the budget utilization of her office and the Department of Education as politically motivated. In a press conference on Monday, November 11, Duterte accuses lawmakers from the Makabayan Bloc and House Speaker Martin Romualdez of supposedly colluding to attack her as a House panel investigates the alleged misuse of public funds of the OVP and DepEd under her watch.
Lahat sa simula pa lang, ma'am, nagsabi na talaga ako na the hearings in the House of Representatives are politically motivated. Unang-una, nagsimula yan last year, di ba? Kung maalala ninyo, nagsimula talaga yan last year sa confidential funds. May meeting na nangyari with the Makabayan Bloc, hindi naman tinago yon, pinost naman sa social media, Makabayan Bloc and Speaker Martin Romualdez. Then they started attacking the budget of the Office of the Vice President.
This is not the first time Duterte makes the accusation, as she claimed in September this year that issues surrounding her office's use of confidential funds are part of a supposed orchestrated attack against her by the Makabayan Bloc and Romualdez. ACT Teachers Party List Representative Franz Castro refuted Duterte's claims and reiterated the Makabayan Bloc's stance to hold the public officials accountable and to work for the abolition of all confidential funds. Following Duterte's accusation, Romualdez, during the opening of budget plenary deliberations in September, said the lower chamber would not tolerate hypocrisy and those who ignore their own misuse of public funds. The House Committee on Government and Public Accountability is investigating alleged fund misuse at the OVP and the DepEd under Duterte, including the supposed irregularities in confidential fund expenditures. The Commission on Audit has handed out a notice of disallowance on 73.2 million pesos of the OVP's 125 million peso confidential fund for 2022, an item which several lawmakers said should not be available in the first place, as the original budget crafted during the time of former Vice President Leni Robredo did not have this item. Vice President Sara Duterte's Chief of Staff, Undersecretary Zula Lopez, is being given a last chance to skip the congressional probe into the alleged misuse of public funds in the office of the Vice President. During the hearing of the House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability on Monday, November 11, lawmakers agreed to exclude Lopez from the list of OVP officials who were cited for contempt for not showing up at the inquiry despite summons. Lopez informed the House panel through a letter that she would not be able to attend the hearing due to a medical emergency involving her sick aunt in the United States. Deputy Speaker David Suarez, who moved to cite 4 OVP officials for contempt, says he agrees with Santa Rosa City Representative Dan Fernandez's belief that Lopez's presence and testimony would be crucial to the investigation. He also says extending some understanding to Lopez would not hurt, citing humanitarian reasons.
However, in the same way, Mr. Chair, when I was reading the letter of Attorney Zula Lopez, ang nabanggit niya po kasing dahilan doon ay ipinapakiusap ng kanyang tiyahin na makasama siya habang nasa ospital sa ibang bansa. At lahat naman po tayo, may mga pamilya po tayo, because of humanitarian reasons and you know, maybe we can extend a little bit more our understanding.
However, Suarez stresses that the consideration of Lopez's absence would last only until before the next House Committee hearing. Meanwhile, Fernandez still questions the consideration given to Lopez, asking whether she is the only remaining relative of her aunt.
Mr. Chair, kasi natatawa po ako dito talaga sa dokumentong to. Siya lang ba po ba yung pamangkin ng tita niya? Wala na po ba ibang pamangkin? Wala na po ba siyang asawa na padadala? Because we are tackling so much issues about her. And this is a clear evasion, Mr. Chairman. Hindi po to justified, itong letter na to.
The House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability is investigating allegations of public fund misuse in the OVP and Department of Education under Duterte, including supposed irregularities in confidential fund expenditures. A hefty oil price hike is set starting Tuesday, November 12, with diesel costs surging by over 2 pesos per liter. In separate advisories on Monday, November 11, Sea Oil, Petrogas, Shell Pilipinas, and Caltex say diesel prices will go up by 2 pesos and 10 centavos per liter, and gasoline prices will increase by 1 peso and 50 centavos per liter. The price of kerosene will rise by 1 peso and 20 centavos per liter. Department of Energy Oil Industry Management Bureau Director Rodela Romero earlier said oil price increases are due to Hurricane Rafael's impact on the U.S., which could dampen the region's output. She also noted the delayed plans of OPEC Plus to boost oil production next month. OPEC Plus is made up of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and allies led by Russia.